Namaste and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today and for this opportunity to share these practices with you. It's another gorgeous morning in Poway, that's San Diego, and it's really calm. I'm going to try my best not to get distracted by all the beautiful dogs that you will likely see floating around the park. Like I said, I'll do my best. I can't promise anything. So I hope you're comfortable, sat or stood, however you are. Before we begin this practice, I just want to touch on something that is, I guess, poignant for what I'm going through, at least at the moment, and something I've had to do a lot of acceptance practice around, and that is uncertainty. And we've all kind of been hit with that, I guess, over the last 2 years. We plan. I think it's just kind of a natural thing, and it's a good thing. As my father always said, prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And it's right. And, it rhymes, so it's always a bit more fun. However, we can only really kind of roughly plan for uncertainty, and that's in the sense of its acceptance. And so we have to have this acceptance practice that when things go wrong, we're ready to adapt because we accept that it hasn't gone the way we wanted it to. And at the same time, you only know what that adaptation, what that solution is going to be when it actually happens. And we trip ourselves up by thinking, I plan for the future. But if you're constantly planning for that, then you're missing out on what's happening right now. And you're worrying yourself over something that may never actually happen. Probably something you've heard plenty of. I'm simply just a different person saying it in my own way. So, how are you bringing an acceptance practice into your life so that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay? Even if the plans for your wildest dreams don't turn out the way you were hoping to. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you so much for listening. Go ahead and make yourself comfy, whatever that looks like. Grab a bunch of cushions, a blanket, whatever it is, lie down. You comfortable? I hope you are. We'll start with a little bit of gentle breath work, and then we'll pause for a moment. Just rest in that space we create. So resting right hand just below your navel space. Left hand on the heart space. And it's super simple. We just breathe into our belly, and we're pushing gently with the hand. And we're feeling that contact, we're feeling that active movement, and then we exhale. And that's all we're doing, just slowly inhaling, feeling that mild resistance of our hand. And this way we really connect in with our breath. And maybe you can even breathe into that heart space, breathe into the hand resting there. Just noticing how you're breathing today. Being aware of any sticking points. And then when you're ready, let's just go ahead. Take a beautiful deep breath in. And let it all go. And take a moment to rest in that space. Being present amongst all the sights, the sounds, the various sensations of the body. Free from trying to control those aspects. Just being aware of where your mind's at today. Free from any judgment of what may come to the surface. Two more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, finding your way up to a comfortable seated position, the palms gently pressing together in front of the heart. And if you'd like to join me in the Om, please do. Take a deep breath in. Om. Go ahead, create some heat in the hands. And gently massage your face. Bring the hands to rest over the eyes. Gently blinking. Bring the hands away. Namaste. Okay, so we've got another slow practice for you today. And if you're looking for something faster, don't worry, I've got an Ashtanga practice coming for you very soon. It'll be in the folder in the next couple of days. So if you're wanting something fast, dive into this practice and, you know, delayed gratification and all that. Okay. So let's bring the feet just underneath the hips. Okay, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Bend into the knees, inhale, lift your heart to the sky, and then you're going to take a left hand, you're going to plug it up above you, bring it in, extend it out. Bring it in, hold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, come up to the top. Exhale, fold to halfway. You're going to bring your hands down onto the tops of the knees. Squeeze the shoulder blades down. Push into the tops of the knees. So you should hopefully feel a sense of a lift into your upper abdomen. Push down into the legs. And now slowly keep that hold in. You're going to slide. I'm going to turn sideways for this actually so you can see better. So I'm going to slide my hands down, so I'm coming more into a chair pose. And you're going to push into the outside of your knees as you push your knees out, creating an isometric engagement, breathing fully. And then slowly slide the hands down, all the way down, let the legs straighten up into a forward fold. So you can see we're just adding a few extra elements to a sun salutation. And we're just slowing it right on down. Inhale, come up halfway. You can even push against the legs here a little bit, bend into the knees. Feel those different ways in which your body works. And then we're going to come into a little squat. Plug the hands up into the sky. Bring the hands on down. Step back. Lower on down. Choose to go to the ground or hold in that press position. Open up. Taking time with each of these movements, fully moving into our breath. roll back, downward facing dog. Hang out here. Bend into each leg. Acknowledging where the resistance is in our body. Looking ahead to the hands step, or if you want, go ahead and float on in. Once again, coming into our squat, plugging our fingers into the sky. Bring the hands down into our forward fold. And inhaling. Coming up. Little back bend. Coming in. So we'll go through that sun salutation variation together, just a little bit quicker this time. Okay. So hands together in front of the heart, little back bend. Notice how my knees bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hand overhead. Exhale. Into center. Folding forwards. Hands meet legs. Push. Open up chest. Look forwards. Slide down. Chair pose position, but squeezing in. Bring it on down. Slide the hands forward, fold. Sit down into this extended squat position. Hands down by the side, step or hop. Lower on down. Inhale, open up, strong arms. Whether you're in cobra or you're in up dog. And then back. Downward facing dog, playing through the legs, pushing out of the shoulders. Look ahead to the hands. Step or hop in. Open up. Squat. Exhale, fold. I like to grab my ankles sometimes here. Just draw me down a little bit. And then inhale, bring that all the way up. Back bend. Release into prayer. Okay, last one. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale, arm overhead. Exhale in. Inhale, arm overhead. Exhale in. Come forwards. Push and squeeze into the thighs. Open the heart forwards. Strong upper back. Drop into that outer push of the thighs. Slide all the way down into a forward fold. inhale into squat, reaching hands down, step or hop back, lower, and inhale, big open, strong feet. Come back, downward facing dog. Move into the hips. And then step or hop forwards. Open up. Squeeze into your thighs. Keep the legs strong. Heels don't need to be on the ground for this. And if they are, and you need to be higher, do that. Fold into deep forward bend. Hopefully a little bit of extra space opening up. And then inhale. Come all the way up. Little back bend. And exhale. Hands into prayer. Keep the hands in prayer or drop them down to the side, whatever feels right for you, and take a moment to close your eyes. Appreciating that little bit of extra space you've created for yourself. And go ahead and gently open your eyes. Okay, so like I said, slow practice. Let's take our time with it, no need to rush. Go ahead, squeeze up. We've done this pose before, we'll take our time with it though. Okay, bend into that left leg a little more than usual so that you can really push that right leg out and take that right hand back. Okay. And you can bring that right leg across the body just a little and hang up there, relaxing the breath, feeling the legs work, and then if you want, I'm gonna fall out of the pose. I'm not even gonna try and blame it on uneven ground. Good. They say busy mind equals trickier balance, so I guess you could say my mind's a little active today. I'm trying to be present amongst it all. 2 more breaths here. And releasing. Woo! I don't know about you, but that's a spicy one for me. So bringing the knee in, Again, bend into that bottom leg a little bit more, and that's going to allow you to ground. Extending the leg out, opening up. It's not as easy as you might think to find a quiet location here in Poway, or in general just anywhere I seem to go here without hopping in a car and driving for absolute miles, but we have fun with it. We'll get a few different places. We'll find somewhere that works. However, I do think that the real yoga is that which we take off the mat and we take out into the world, where we're exposed to all the noise and the potential distractions coming in, releasing, shaking that on out. Bring the hands into prayer, widen up the feet a little bit so you can come into a little bit of goddess pose. And I'd like to invite you to explore the different variations that you can here. Just where are you positioning your arms? Where are you trying to lean your body to? And it might be a dynamic movement that you're doing, but just seeing where you can tap into, what's feeling tight today for you, and seeing what works in easing that. I know that I'm feeling a lot of tension in my upper back today, and sort of around my scapula, that kind of middle thoracic space. So a nice little thing I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to bring my hands in prayer behind my back by pressing the fingertips and rolling the thumbs away and just squeezing and pushing that forwards. Feeling that little bit of heat in my inner thighs. But we breathe, right? Work with your body today. 2 more breaths. And then straightening up. Woo. Turn the feet in. Lift the heart space up. And then fold all the way forward. So remember, hovering before we drop the hands down. So you're creating that sense of strength and lifting in the legs before we bring the hands down to a position that works for us. Inhaling. Come up to halfway. Bend into the knees a little bit, so we're going to come into a twist in a really fun way. Drop your left knee in, turn towards your right leg. Okay. Bring the left hand down. Reach the right hand up to the sky. And then we're going to try and drop this down a little bit lower. Drop the elbow down, take hold of the ankle, and rotate open. Keep the upper arm strong, drawing the shoulder, or the arm rather, down into the shoulder. And move into the pockets of resistance and just pause there. And don't try and force through it. Be with it. And then we're going to drop the arm forward, so you're getting a little bit of easing through the side body, underneath the armpit. All those sticky spaces of our intercostals. And then easing out. Bring the hands down. Those of you familiar with the hop, go ahead, feel free to hop to the other side. If you're not, we'll go through it together, springing through the hips. So you lift the left knee off the ground and think of that bounce as you throw your hips as high as they can to the sky. Boom. And they switch over to the other side. So let's prep. Open up, twist at the top. Breathing fully. And then when you're ready, if it works for you today, drop that elbow down to the ground. Open up the twist even more. Those of you who want to reach back and catch the foot, that's also an option. Remember, try and keep a sense of activation through the inner thighs. And then slowly releasing that hand down, step into a lovely deep squat. Go ahead, take hold of the right ankle. Now if you're feeling a little bit wobbly here, you have to be too high for this pose, then just get some blocks underneath. We want to try and avoid being up here where it's like really straining on the hips. So what you can do is you can put some blocks underneath your heels, which are going to allow you to sit into that deeper position, okay? And then slowly bring up, side, opening. Now watch out, when we start to move in this way, because of naturally how everything in the body attaches, right? When we come here, if there's tension above our iliac crest, that's the top of our pelvis, we're going to get pulled up, okay? We move very easily into compensation, right? Squeeze into the inner thighs, press into the feet, and then ease it on down. Switch to the other side, open up. Stay with your breath. Look past the elbow towards the sky. If this is becoming a little bit too much for your knees, please ease out of it. And then releasing. Come back into center. Hands in prayer in front. And then we're going to try and set up for a slightly trickier pose, a little bit of balance here, but we can keep the hands on the ground when we do it. So bring the hands down, okay. You're going to see if you can bring the heels together, and you're going to see if you can push the feet a little bit closer. And like you can see, I've got my hands on the ground, and then if you feel it's okay, you're going to bring the hands into the heart space. So don't worry about the feet pushing completely together, just seeing if you can get that hip opening, that kind of squeezing of the outer thighs, of the glutes, and bring that activation into the center. And then hands can be in prayer, they can be out. Again, there's so many variations in yoga, or in asana. I should be specific with that, really. This is one aspect, the physical aspect, and then we have our breath work, we have our meditation, we have the way we are in the world. All these elements contribute to yoga. 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly bring the hands down, let that turn in. And then we're going to see if we can rock forwards a little bit and start to experience the strength of crow pose, so like prepping for that. So we're going to squeeze the outside of the elbows with the inside of the knees, keep the feet on the ground, and we're just going to bring the body forwards. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. Squeeze the outside with the crease of the knee, and then you're pushing out. And it's those pressures we need to create when we're doing crow pose to make it work. Tops of the toes down. And if you are familiar with crow and you're like, great, this is an opportunity for me to practice, go into it. I'm going to keep my feet on the ground for today. And simply breathe into it and work on that squeezing, work on that strength there. Activating the side body. One more breath. Come on down. Okay, let's come to sitting down on the earth. And then we're going to bring knee into the chest, one leg out, extended. So we're in this really upright position. We're on the sit bones. I also find this is a really good setup for boat, making sure you're actually on the sit bones. This is a really good way to make you locate them, or help you locate them at least. And then let's switch to the other side. You can even put a little twist in here. Pointing into the toes. Breathing fully. Bring yourself in. And there's so many variations of boat. So if you want to go low boat, drop your weight all the way down. Here, hands overhead. If you want to go here, high boat, I like to call this one. And here is also Navasana. Okay, so that's boat. Okay, the Sanskrit for boat. Okay, so you can go here, you can go here, you can go here. Okay, play around with it. You can go out here. So whatever's working for you today. Breathe into it. Be present in your body. Two more deep breaths here. Release down. Okay, we've tried sitting back from a squat and see if we can stand up from a squat. So the feet turn out a little bit, heels are kind of together, bring your knees wide, and then take your weight forwards. And you might want to come back a little bit so you can create that momentum. Come forwards, come into it, bring the hands down, step back, keep the feet apart, turn the feet to the side, open up to your left hand side, come into a lovely side balance, side plank, reaching overhead, keeping that right arm strong, pushing out of the shoulder. There's so many variations here that you can take. If you want to play, go ahead and play. Just find something that you can hold. I think there's that temptation to just push it to the nth degree, and we're only there for like a split second. It's not long enough for our body to learn anything from it, in my humble opinion at least. And then slowly coming down. Go ahead, pause. In plank position. And then open up to the side. Press through the legs. Send the hip up. Three breaths. And then slowly coming into plank and holding. And then those of you who are feeling you need a little bit of extra fire, you're not really getting it out of this slow practice, go ahead and lower down to Chaturanga and hold it out there, knees on the ground or not. Breathing in that low press position, hanging out here. Full breath, squeeze the shoulder blades back, squeeze into your inner thighs, press into the feet. Go ahead, open up, upward facing dog or cobra. Watch out for ankles dropping out. Keep them active, press into the tops of the feet. Roll back, downward facing dog. Looking ahead. And then we're going to see if we can hop or step, if that works for you, the feet wider than the hands. So bend into the knees and see if you can jump the feet either side of the hands and through. Okay. So wide stance, seated forward fold. Just bring the hands forwards. If you need to bring your feet in a little bit for this pose, please go ahead and do that right now. And we've just moved through a fairly intense part of our practice, and this is where we're taking things down a little bit. A great little idea, I guess you would say, or a methodology even, actually, I learned from a great teacher, Rod Stryker, is imagine your yoga practice or your asana practice like a day. When you have that dawn where you're stretching and you're waking up into it, it's fairly slow. And it just builds, it builds until the peak of the day, and then that sun begins to set. Think of it that way. And since I've adopted that practice, I've felt a great deal of change in my asana practice and in my body. So I offer it to you as well, just simply sharing that little bit of wisdom. And then slowly creeping that back in. Bring the feet together. Tuck that left heel towards your right bum cheek. Bring the right foot over. You're going to take the left hand up to the sky. Turn first and then bring the elbow to the outside. So again, just in case you couldn't see that properly, left heel just finds its way to the outside of the right cheek. The right foot is coming over if possible. If that's not possible, keep that left leg out straight, and you're going to find that a little bit more accessible. And then you bring the arm up, elbow to the outside. And again, if that doesn't work, you can always wrap the arm around the knee and squeeze in. Lift through the crown of the head, sink the hips into the earth. And then come back into center. Unwrap yourself. And tangle up the other way. And again, I'm going to show you that variation of just wrapping and pushing down. And you can have that bottom leg straight. Remember, it's your body on the mat. You have so many different experiences to the person next to you if you're sharing this practice with someone else at this time, and even to myself. Yet, I know I'm guilty of it. I try and keep up with someone else. I compare myself to what another is doing and go, oh, well, if they can do it, I can do it, you know, and forgetting that we're not seeing the whole picture there. Like, how many years has that person been practicing? What else do they do outside of this yoga practice? Our lifestyles are so different. So work in the way that suits your lifestyle. Couple more deep breaths here. And easing. Feet forwards. Take a moment, just squeeze through the inner thighs, point into the toes, and actively forward fold. reaching past your feet. Very different experience, right? And then just let the legs relax. Let the arms drop down. And then we roll up and back. Arms and legs reaching out. Nice, beautiful stretch out through the body. Go ahead, hug the left knee in. Enjoy a little twist towards that side. Release, bring the other knee in. And again, twist in a way that actually works for you. And then ease. Go ahead, bring the knees to halfway and extend the feet to the sky. Holding the backs of the legs. If that feels a little bit too much, just bend the knees in and hold the backs of the legs or the fronts of the knees. It's just a way to help relieve any pressure that you might still be feeling around the low back or that's been created from the various poses we've been doing. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and extend the legs out. Palms turn up to face the sky. Move around as much as you need to get comfy. Once again, maybe you want to use your blankets, your pillows. And as always, take as much time as you need to here. Really soak in that space you've created for yourself. Let go of any of that tension you might be holding on to. Thank you so much for showing up today. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing this practice with you. Albeit a little busy and noisy around us. However, like I said, that's the real world, right? And if we can be present and accepting of everything that's going on around us without being distracted by it, and being able to stay on our own path. And that is the yoga practice in action. Until next time, I hope you have an amazing day. Namaste.